Mayam Kurumzari Impact News Ki, Manung the Kkay Thokchom Mayam Taram Noksari, how can we Karadi Mamangda, Priyanka, Anna, Joseph, Kopi, fashion designer Abana, Manipur Ki, traditional attire and Tarif Panik, say, Panik Tasu, Asamba Panik Nataba, Mapan Naiba, Asi, skirt Amani Hydra, one Topiduna, Togan, but fashion, you ever monga, Shelat Paduga. Nupi singa yamna hujik yamna maruiba yamna tangba pi moina inariba akogi phade ek nai bi aduga koi rani fi haita rani pi sina kurta mani haiduna semtok sadolaga koi design moina puthorakpa asina miyamda maitegi not culture si masak thina bohonar pani haibiki claim claim live si Democratic Students Alliance of Manipur my Kkay so claim mani tasena Manipuri culture maro in a mighty singi sinari basula ba nehuru de club fi role sing sita minor fashion tauna puthok lakpa duga tonga tonga wahan to pidun puthok pasina asena culture si masak thena torpani adugo masigi damakta sumaina sumba yamna tomtina ba dress code si yamna kai khunada bagi monga torpasina hariba fashion designer asina madu mayanda Lale Haizagadabani Hype Wahan Kaya Matolpa Maski Matanda Rogi traditional attires in see westernization Tauba Yadabra Tauragana Tawi to Masi business purpose that passion purpose the Putolhomata the Manipur Kinata Metis Southokson Islands Kari Levi Habit Matang the Penguski online the Kananavan election you guess and see Ahambada London Sea Sangaraba fashion designer Robert Naorem and Robert Putra Noxari Duga. Adi super Leishangthem Lamyanba guest asana Roslyn Khongsai fashion designer dua aksi bagi Roslyn Khongsai her label segi creative director am the owner ni ani super Roslyn Khongsai tra mausari do on super guest oina Leishangthem Lamyanba Leishangthem Lamyanba DESAM gi challenge to everyba Lamyanba tra mausari studio yara bro kamai taroge Makasih tuh ya reko. Makong tuh ya husila kamai tuh sih ya. Aduh oke. Aku ini online itu begini kita nsapa kot pa tuh ka niat ki problem level nomor mangsa kudung sada bersutui masih kami amna yang diri pa tuh ka aku ini sudah yaupi di bagias kutimun suara biroi mana mangsa sound tada tuh ka masih mute lagi bersutui yau tuh benarnya. Ayah hamada aku ini kena ada Robert Naorem tembaru yang laksa ki. Tamzari bawa pam sini hari traditional attire natraga. Fani kakta na tana mani pritongan ba culture ga marila na nat kamile na ba special oi ba pirol mayam lai samnarda duhong da seleba the piece seleba pollo ina singba degi rani fi arang so jam special oi ba pirol oi aduga nupa signa duhong ba udnari ba yenari ba koye da singba singma mayam am so like ta banati manipur ki marak tagi aduga singba dressing simroina fashion designer tongan ba khutai ba aduga mioi singna fashion gi purpose amoina Puthok pasida kari wakum thamini aduga hariba sigumba puthok pasina tongan ba Manipur ki culture sum haina masak tae haina logo dori brana traga masida masak chena bo honra pani haina logo dori bai wakum sane kari having Robert
from Zari ayoi ba wakum da isama nasu haidi handloom zeta sengan fizaba aduga ai di exing bani 95% collection se ai di handloom natane yambana adubu Oi design की perspective ते लाख मतलब ददी creativity से कोई ना हाइडी textile fabric कोई ना उड़क पा या मतलब दा कोई designer since ना हाइडी अदु की perspective ममलाई अदु वो आई वखलोन की मतुंगी ना हाइडी ऐसे past experience ता हाइडी ममांग दा हाइडी हम करना कोई research करना तो उन्हें दा हवल को मतलब दा हाइडी आई किसु हाइडी mistake हाइडी ड्रा ना ट्रगना कना गुम्बा खरा public की कनो दगी आई किसु हाइडी आई ना अस्वीबा मत खरा अमित को भी हाइडी in terms of फिजिकी fabrication like की मतंग दा अदुना अदुबु अदुगी मतुंग तारकपदा हाइडी आइना डिटेल ओइना स्टडी तो मतमदा कुकी थाने का हाइवसे कुकी it is a uniform अतोपा मफम वर्ल्ड की पृथ्वी की अतोपा मफम except मणिपुर नतना हाइडी थाने से सेटे अदुगा अतोपा सिंगा ट्राइबल कम्युनिटी अतोपा जाति सिंसना फनिक से हाइबा फनिक सिटी असम की मेखला काइलेबा द ट्राइबल के फनिक से अखोई की फनिक का खेना बयाम ले हाइदी अनि से डिफरेंस याम लाइग्रे हाइतार अदुना Kuna some find out torpa duga halaman singi guidelines ID kuna takpi tambirpa adu tigalu matamda kugi panik se kugi just not only about traditional haiba matana kugi religiously connected oiba haitare kugi lai haktagi thazana bagi matungina kui panthuibina ten pairaga langla hullaga sarami haina thazane ko aduna which depicts about haidi langla mani pani langla mani imani kaina pida aduna phani machet amana pagi kahini khapaga koi lai ognadi ka lai otingunati kaina kui thazana ba dumba ngasi boksu dum lai mai pagi phani machet ama hapa kudai machet ama hapa kaina aduna sumba religiously kui connected poi ba pot ama se koina haidi Dakan Samduga Quina Hedi Magi look not a whole story, not a whole outlook that Kanda Vita over say, she say, I is Hagu in the Su, Hosecurity, Yanindre, Aduna, Heidi, Seaport say, Heidi Mamanda, Sweet the Oracle Su, Heidi, Hosecurity, Chalamatunda, Heidi, Aquina as an icon as a Heidi state, represent out of the international platform, the Chapamatamda. Heidi, funny kind of what already garment on the same of what but already it's a piece garments already. Heidi fabric nateba. Aduna sticky piece garments say Quina Heidi Magi lay perform the dona, Adu uniqueness to Adu dodum stand out Tauragadum lay and Manapagadana, do Kali Duka. One side quite design creativity lakamatam the Heidi was the sustainable fashion hyper masulai banina. Heidi global platform the lakamatam da Heidi except Heidi atupa state kakwam kenabana Heidi Mui atupa state insida Heidi even Karnataka the oiro Maharashtra the oiro Natrika Tripura the oiro Heidi garments convert Toraga to Pamam semakpa gown semakpa outfits semakpa yawe ado see poche Heidi Muigi namu history ga adagi religiously connected Oina Moidaba, Haina in Hazaba Haidare. Aduna Heidi Aquagina Heidi something religiously connected with I say emotional sentiment, Madum public da Karadum Laineva. Adula Tanza study Nati Weba, the Gipwiki, Heidi Tina, the Gihona later Kliba, Heidi Aquioba, Heidi Inatuba in this Nesiam, can you cut the Bagikanoma Takam Oidivanina, Adula Sida Quina modernization, the Anisi Landai, that Kitanka Heidi sentiments hopa, Adugumba, Karasu Lairan Haledugu. As a designer, I'm going Hazarding Bati, Heidi Aquayam research, so Bama, the Carway Brand Hale, you will leave a missing soup, Haidare. Heidi even what's what you will leave a missing, Heidi even designer or the key, Mapandagi, yes, Lapamayawe. Heidi, the online Suzuki Pochum Hale, you will have Banina Sagi, what I think saying a Sagi Mukoina, Heidi in detail to Kanga Banina, Heidi Modi Puraga, Fabric when Uraga, Panik had, oh, it's funny, Panikutun Puraga, setting a moon set of ba, the key tuning dress moon the tuba, going a whole idea to Heidi concept about the garments to like the banana nice to Tazi to the seaports and pay awareness in Oibra, awareness Oiraba, Adagi, Kayamiam Kange, Apo Medi, Masenda Bokamiam Kange. Aduna seaports ya koina apoigi history na culture na lai watching the adumak thambi baduna adumak apoigi pride oigadran to khali
okay masi matanda traditional gi natraga madu wafam duna hen wafam dramang tharakanda haitare madu uniqueness ama laizabani na madu tasina fabric amana ta panik haidra tongana lairabani na madu ki uniqueness adu identity madu mayam do khangaga madu da kara research to wabadal tai fashion oidaraga su maduna tongan ba design and toraga ba digena ningai to ba sentimental trade madu oigini have a forms in Roslyn the Laxake. Kari having your forms that high in any condition might take a Takinatana Tongan communities in Gibraltar, Drays, Tongan coaching lay, some have the cookie, Naga tribes in Bartasu, me like Tamatamana, Sigumba, Circa the Bahara, open my Podo of the Nasu, Circa the Ba, Nataga Karikariba, occasion, Nataga special programs in the Chimba, Firo Seka the Bahaba, Soina, when I Harib Sing Sea, Lana, Nataga Tongan, design the same that the Roslyn Kari having traditionally ATTIRES in westernized, Nataga modernized, Nataga. Business purpose kita tahu pada kari habin kari wakal kari filter Roslyn.
Hi to all. Aku as a designer, I have a topic to the wakan. From my side, what I feel is that as a designer, one should always do a little research on what kind of fabric or what motif traditional fabric has to it. Like for example, there are some very special fabric, like for example what you just said. Adu moina khangda bida the way they have used that has hurt the sentiment of everyone around, that I think is quite valid, because for any culture or for any community, we all have different fabrics which are meant for male or female also. That's a very small issue. For example, if a man's shawl is being converted into a skirt or maybe a shoe, no one is going to accept that. But as a designer, we want to explore and come up with different contemporary or modern things which we can use in the day-to-day wearable garments. So for that kind of a thing, we as a designer, we should research, survey a little bit about the textile, and then after that, whatever we are making should not hurt the sentiment of the community or the whole society as a group. Because right now, for example, I am also doing a lot of product development based on traditional textiles of Manipur, Kkay, Nagas, I mean different tribes, and I am doing a lot of handloom developments also. But the main concept behind what I am doing, as taking inspiration from all these traditional textiles, is that in the modern day, if a person wants to still hold on to the traditional garments, traditional motif with them, they are not able to wear the wraparounds or the shawl in this season. But yes, we want to preserve, we want to keep that root in us. For that, I have come up with all this kind of different designs where, the day to day you can carry it around, but keeping all the basic or necessary, the thing in mind that, it should not go beyond the boundary. For the men's shawl to be converted into girls' wearable skirt, or maybe any item which is kind of degraded. That we always check. And I think that is very much, because it's not about only us or now. It will be in the generation to come. This has to keep evolving, because the traditional textile which was there like maybe 100 years back, or even for example 50 years back, there were a little modification which was done from the 50 years gap. Those garments, those traditional textiles, we don't carry it around as is now. Some of them have been modified. The colors are different now. There are so many, things which keep changing. So, but we do keep the original textiles as is, and we take inspiration from those, and we take it forward and create something out of those valuable, traditional things, and convert it into a beautiful piece which can be accepted by the people, by the generation today. For example, like you're wearing a tie right now, and if, for example, I have been making this kind of product, like a tie which has a traditional motif in it. So a person who's going to office can carry his traditional motif around, which is not hurting anyone, but it's actually, in fact, giving a respect to that person, that he is able to, carry his traditional textile in a very presentable way. Okay. So I think, that's what I wanted to say. But we should be careful that, we don't hurt the sentiment of the people or us, that we have, such a beautiful traditional textiles, and we end up using it in a very downgraded or degraded manner.
Okay, yamna Kkay traditional oiba hana digi leijarakpa lisang sina mayam na hena respect tongriba firol sida yamna kaina sendo ka thopusida tonganba laiba madu use or community as well as people sing the madu sentiments on tabakoti designers sing taw daba phai haiba waham sini Lamyanba kari haibidingi masi matang da yamna sober react amasu tawre kanogi site gi DESAM site gi, but koino zig yengba yarisi masigi mamangda ngasi thoiba natraga ngasi phanik sina akoi get minus skirt natraga rani pisina admaina gown natraga sas akoi kurta oina turukpa ngasina hamana te tongan pa mamangda thodok sigi sem mak natraga su manaba thodok seminar oiba thodok kaya ama thokiba laire adu bo na masida fil tawlibasi koi Manipur gi koi phanik haiba use or community sikatang oiga tori natraga tongan ba international gi platform da natraga India ke platform, the fashion platform, the masina kaya yamna effective ni haiba wafam dani aduga masina tarok pusmaina fashion designers singna smaina putholok pasina miyam da kari tunggi akhoi tongan tongan lejari traditional oi ba posak sangsida kaya yamna sohan bagi haba wafam kari kari habini yamna.
Okay, thagachari yamba. Taseng na haila gadi akhoi ki yam sing haila gadi yamba akhoi ki Manipur funai se tongan ba phudup kanglup mayam ba kunai koi se punna khundami na kanda yam sisa na hingmina in hai tare. Masigi mapung oi ba madam se kai gina ha matam da akhoi amana amagi culture se akhoi ikai khumna ga dum la Marum duna masi sahi lisang sina akhoi se hingmina ba ngamai ni akhoi da aimol ga anal adai kabui singa mayam sing sigi marakta aina maitai ni aina kabui ni aina mau ni madam ni haibase khanga dui se akhoi gi pije sakse aduga akhoi gi fane ki tongan ba lai ba masak sing sina akhoi se masak dangna ra mina madu gi chauthok cha ba do akhoi gi pai pusina tambira mina hai tare adu na madu ngasai gi into to hojik so dum lega dong ne haise bi wafam ta ba ngasai gi modernization haibase dum la kan hai tare adu bu tabu akhoi da ngasai gi atai pije sing akhoi da fane ka akhoi da tongan ba akhoi gi manada ba kaya marum khang nei ngasai su akhoi gi oza Robert Naorem na su thambi ba hai ba akhoi gi masida cultural values de da yawi ba akhoi gi lamdam si puwari masak ta pai wari ama yawi panthoi bina ngasai gi iba panthoi bisna pi sa ba hodo ki ba masina imani ipani haina khanga kanda madu da phanek mayek nai ba se de strip chala kanda madu chapagi maram du phawba akhoi madu gi chap sa significance so adum leijari hai tare adai de madu da phanek tu yawi ba koi mahum yawi ba tongan da mayek mayam me yawi ba iban masi layek ne phawba thajana ra kanda masi akhoi gi mama mapa singna bacha singbu ngapi sen bina bagi lai tenjangana bagi pot amuk ne hadana phawba akhoi yamna thajana ba hai tare aduga amuk phanek mayek nai ba se masi set pasi amu akhoi na yum pala matung amadi pandri gi matung da set pa yaba yadaba set pa gi bong ma tawsu adum tongan thambira mi hai tare seli ba khutse sina maram boira kanda ma se yum pala bani na traga pandri bani hai dana masi mang ai amna typical loi bigi wafam tin na tenga sagi ipa ipu sina thambira bagi wafam de ta sam hai tare Smain to tana akhoi da tongan ba masi cultural value me ta ame adu gi sumatak ta hai ri ba phanek mayek nai ba hai ri ba phanek sigi tamak ta di kaino ha matam da yamna nungsi ba akhoi gi puwari ama oi ri ba tu ba akhoi gi maitai pangal li chile naw sin sina ngasai gi khage baning thau gi hatak ta maitai ya akhoi gi maitai ningo lora ba adu ma akhoi gi pangal sing se adu ba nupi do hai tare adura pangal dam yum pala ba adu ba maitai ningo sing duna ning thau da gi akhoi phanek mayek nai ba sidi sepa ya ba aya ba pibiu haira kanda madu gi aya ba do laura kanda hojik phau ba maitai pangal sil naw sing yam kana season yam pamjana seli ba smai to dana maitai amadi maitai pangal gi ba yamna cultural heritage ama kam ni hadan yam chauthok chana masi laiyek ni hadan chauthok chana masi akhoi gi satam takli bani ngaching ngachima globalization gi matam amadi modernization gi matam astai da akhoi gi phibam yamna lurak la ba akhoi gi phajara ba akhoi gi cultural values sing mang khi gadra amadi honglakli ba culture sina han leizaram ba phajaba culture sing phajaba akhoi gi tradition sing custom sing mang khi gadra haidna akiba amaka leiri badu makunai amakhakta smai to dana akhoi gi phanek mayek nai ba sibu kaisu leitana akhoi da mini skirt ki mo do ne sakalak pa ta da di madu duna akhoi gi miyam gi sentiment ta hurt to ba hai ba simadi masidi mayek na ba wafam ne maram adu thong asi akhoi gi as a maitai amu oina natraga as manipur gi yellow mi amu oina masi sunya ya fam te hai ba sine adu gi matakta akhoi ne yade na hai ga do ri ba se masi akhoi gi so mu right ne akhoi si indigenous people lama khangni yellow mi ni haidana leizari bani akhoi gi United Nations declarations on the rights of indigenous people the 2007 the piriba aduguma yellow mi singi pije success amadi yellow mi singi identity nga ka da bani hai gi right akhoi gi malam gi miyam na piraga leiri ni masigi su matakta akhoi gi Indian constitution da su dum yaga leini Indian constitution gi article number 29 da su akhoi gi cultural and educational right haidana akhoi gi isagi culture isagi identity nga na bagi da maka isagi loan isagi mayek isagi chanabi isagi pije sakse kanjana bagi adugum hak ama khaksu mayam ko lai nai tare smai to dana akhoi da right ama masigi su matak ta mu ngasai gi 1966 ta akhoi da laina ki badugum ba international covenant on the socio economy and cultural right su ngasaki miyam sing magi culture singu phurup amana amabu ikai na da bani hai ba wafam ko su yawrin da smai to dana masibu ikai khumna basing se mang ba ya ba mong ama khata hekta ai se designer ni ai se fashion to rabani ai gi mayam gi attention draw to na bani hai dana ai khoi gi promote to bagi namada innovative ideas mayam ma thora pa doi pe na de samu su dum episode to jai ai khoi gi ngasai gi modernization hai ba se khoi dum episode to ga da ba to bu innovation dugi natraga modernization gi namada ekoi se yarani haidana tauba yakam thokta ba atopa phi da tawramba natraga atopa natra yaba area hi khailum leini ba yaroi da area su kara du leigani haibase masi khangda bi nga sai gi ai tawni haidana pangtauda tawpa mandagi mong asiti masiti ekoi gi sentiment satina sopana maram moira kana masi made ekoi sunya yade maram aduna asuguma designer sings haipata tare mapalam gi Priyanka Anna Joseph Hailba designer sing se masi aikoi ngarang aikoi basu yaning da phung dok loina na efficient sing ba aikoi mai thala kana protest awi adba mahak se aikoi government da su masi ga mari leina ba magi mathak ta action lokap pio haibigi wafam su aikoi thamkiba lai ka ta sing namati aikoi
okay odi wafam du hana su yam kana desang sai to react to le mamang da su culture ga mari leina ba tabak torom sing da su yam kana khong ni le bat yeng ba yari bi swai da phani ngata ba tongan ba khudai natraga phaijob natraga manipur nupa singna sena inari ba firol singda adugum torom taragati mayam na hainari si tongan ba circle khara degi so haida banate bara koi nupi patriarchal beliefs sina bara morakanda nupi gi dress am hek puthora ga de dai da kitang phajano puthoga di react tonona bagi mayam am su lai da nupa gi kokiet si mayam da present to ba adug purga sakhiba even koi manipur gi yelho mi nata bada koi hong hong patana koi si use tor ka da koi si give aboina pi ba asina sing mathok sina tis maina patriarchal system si beliefs da laser badana bar markan atmaina fani to skirt oina puthok matam da lan uda bani haibe dinante yeng ba yari swai da madugumba tongan ba nupa gi dress mo era mataraga sam koi manupa sina sinari ba maitei gi manipur iong ga sab khudai sina khongrau natraga west coast oina lina bataraga di Lamyanba natraga topa manipur gi koi tongan civil society organization na tawgadori brahai wafam na da di kari tabi Lamyanba
yamba akoina phanika akoina khudai ga natraga akoi hasna pi kudima akoi compare to bi wafam dinate khudai tuna khangau set pada miyam ne appreciate to bataraba magi cultural value do mangoi da bataraba miyam ne accept to bataraba adu nakli batu dum yaw gi ne ba masi miyam ne acceptable to ba ya ba area haiba ma lai ni khudai manung ka kari akoi da cultural value yaw ni masi manung da kari puari loinari masi na akoi gi nahasingda aikoi miyam nan pasna kari tambiri haibagi pot amakak maduda yauri pot amakak to madu gi kaino dugi makha pon hai tare masi nang dai aikoi na fanek te hekta hai dana daga kaino da hekta masi aikoi patriarchal oi hai dana nupa na puling ba punai ne hai dana hekta ma admani interpretation pi baduri lande ne tale aikoi gi seng ba comment set pasi aikoi tibal phida oi hai tare kanam yaroi matang hai tare adagi de aikoi da yamna luriba yamna tongan ba aikoi da dress code loinan mag lai ne ba aikoi gi seng ba comment set pasi nata haraga aikoi da ake amo gi panek bayek nai ba se mi si ba gi sola da salu matam da siri ba imung dugi mina adum mathamoi da sentiment hurt tawgani ba aduguma mafam da sepa yada ba haiba ama lai ba aduga fanek bayek nai ba haiba se masi casual loina yinda li ba nga dai ba pangse ta sena ba dugum ba physical
ma special oi ba attire ni special oi ba ni okay ada makata bi am tian tang thambiyo Lamyanba
adugum ba ya mayam ka lai ba na bai tongan ba angle dagi tongan ba expecting akoi ya kana masi madi ya bani masi madi ya ba ha hai pose masi madi sentiment so ina na taga sok tena hai pose matam du to tsara kani hai tare tawri ba thawong tawri ba magi ek hai tare ko madugi matung ina tawri ba magi sen nari ba mong matong gi matung ina se akoi na fanek mayang nai ba sing akoi gi oza Robert na puthokpi da malem gi phak da puthokpi da kanda tongan ba mapalam gi mi myam khakta chumna selali ba akoi masi gi da makta sau thok chari ba Madonna, I could put up a patana, Madu promote Haiba, Madu Natabida, Panek, I say, Yaya hide an Akale, the bikini Sangala, the Spiaga, Brava. Take a table pida or a tap to Yaga, Brava. Other me and Maggie, culture, Atusu, Yellow me and Moy, Biggie, Satam, Amadi, the hill Lisenka, I could laser, a high Masataka, Pumba, I could cultural Belu Yauriba, Puari Galoina, I could identity Masatai, Pota, my Tem Sangara, Patara, Masinupi, Zoni, Natanupai, Zoni, having you often the table. I call you over identity Masatak, but identity singer at Panahana, Laura Kanda, Madrid, reactor, we go from name as think I could, as I give Panek, reactor, I had an put a reactor with a put a reactor with a high big potomadu, situation to give Matungin, I pay Matangi Matungin, a send a river moment to give Matungin and Makapon in the Haitare.
Okay, Susan River Mondi, Makapon, Yam Pazana. Azana glass toroga natraga yam pazana gipa mo ina piram agadi yam na angle amada yengaga mad promote tobani hana lawraganda madai yamna thagani ai wapum magine to atopa system amda champo rakanda puthorokpastati madu react tawdringai maram leki habdane Roslyn da muka repeat takagi haitare masi traditional belief ta madu breaking oigadori bra antaga madu responsibility se kanano madu use toriba kangbu dugi responsibility ra section da bagi haitare koina madu ilai line hekta market natraga karai waidano ilai line fashion designer amada gift natraga madu pitho bagi madu gi dong ki bidu oidori bra natraga fashion designer duna madu gi miss interpretation hai wrong interpretation tori badu research to badu what badu bar traditional belief me am thugai re habe waham nakadoi bra so the relation between market hai tare koi pani phangi mapam jiga karai dano market te lebena tra kana gumam ni soina leibo koiram gani ada da madagi funny to value du yauna khangna madu potu fashion designer do kusina bra hai waham ni so the relationship si karamaina breaking where pano promote tono mohona bada tori bamong du magi business proposal lak ni bra hai wai wang du hangdani ngai lerek tre kari having in so the Roslyn unmute the viewer Roslyn unmute please unmute
yeah okay as a designer mayamna design field chatpa matam sida the main purpose is that magi design puthoraka pot si you know market ta accept oigdabune hana khallaga we think or we design. There's a lot of research going on and there's a lot of thought process going on before we come up with the right. So basically what I feel is that as a designer one should always take care of what specific fabric or textile or motif that the person is picking it up and carrying forward business or in the end business or because you're selling something. So sell to pot se kamai hagdam akhigi pot to semdokpa loira kanda yolakadaba pot to you cannot keep going and following every customer how to wear it, how to do it, you know. What you're making has to be such that mathang chathara so it should not be degraded. Like for example, home furnishing item the Manipur gi handloom like there are a lot of vendors, there are a lot of manufacturers who are making handloom products. They're picking up a lot of traditional Naga traditional things or cookies or the Meitei that shawl, you know, but these are being converted into handloom products, into cushions or into a lot of home items. Now you cannot keep going and telling everyone, you know, this you cannot use it like this, or a table runner made out of a shawl or something. You cannot keep this on your table. We cannot go and tell them. So one has to be very precise on, you know, what traditional textiles you're picking it up. For example, I am using a lot of traditional textiles. Say, for example, the Secy hook, which is a very, very respected and the main traditional textile for the cookies. But when I'm using this, I specifically use it for menswear, and because it's a menswear textile, and we have a traditional cookie shawl, which is only for the men, and there's a shawl for the ladies, for the women. So when I'm using those, I make sure that I use it on the product which are for men, and the product, you know, the textile which are women textile for the women. For this things needs to be really, you know, surveyed and researched first. Development will keep happening because as a person, you want to be in the market, you want to sell a lot of product, you want to have new ideas, new things coming up, because the thing which has been selling in the past cannot be there and, you know, getting stagnant. You have to come up with new ideas every time. So when you're doing this, you have to make sure that you're actually keeping all the, you know, basic necessary things in mind, that the men's or the women textile need not be mixed up like that. For example, the one which you just said, the respected fabric, Meitei fabric, has been converted into a skirt, and that I'm sure the designer may not have research, or maybe she knows that this is used in this kind of things. I'm not too sure about that because I'm not aware of that actually. So for us as a designer, we do keep that all this basic, groundwork in the first place. Then we go forward and then do the product development. That's how we, kind of come up with all different products. And in the coming years or in the coming days, what I feel is that there will be a lot of designer coming up. And we are developing. Manipur is developing like anything right now. And right now, if we are 100 designers in the state, after some time we'll be in thousands. And you cannot control everyone. You cannot stop everyone from doing all these things. Like the way Mr. Lamyanba just said, that they don't have a problem with people coming up with different varieties of stuff, except that they should understand the fabric. This is what is important. As a designer, even I take care of that. And if my fellow designer, whom I know, ends up doing something, which is not going to be offended by any particular community, I would rather have a chit chat with that person and then tell that this is not to be used like this. So that is very necessary. And since
yamna pazai haibi wafam se yam pazai tasena harakada Manipur ki leijariba Manipur na tongan fashion designers singna makoina madugi handloom ina te handicraft ina ta to porama turn nama akogi madugi business purpose nataga akogi fascinating purpose ki damakta aduga akogi passion purpose ki damakta putholok matamda madi pot uniqueness madugi basic ideas aduga madugi philosophy maduga lainariba mari singa to tasenga nainara kanda Putopo iragadi madusay na mayam toy basi poy have a company to tongan bangle the gisu yam see he na pazaba mong the mayam yanaba mongda lapotaragadi madu pony hand and the yanada put have si my lakatagi had the mayam the sentiments all of maduna aranba purpose of mother lapotaragadi the matantama automatically at the mother react to we masamo or fashion designers designing industries fashion industries yam parks and develop torpoimatung nadaida nang lakatari fashion designers in the fashion industries the conduct mayam so the you put amagi value aduga madi uniqueness mayam do hen yangsalakanda top creativity masagalakpadu madugi ngamna bagi angle to the Lakom matamda nasai poti uniqueness to khang mathau tai ha from the yam ngai sai yam matang yam ten tak play lo ski play dai koi yam tun hanser ke peng su min ta don lai bi
You are watching Impact TV, engaging, empowering and impacting lives.
Breaking matung mayam mo ka noksari Maite singi fanek haibadare fanek si akoy skirt amoy na putholok pa duga rani pibuna kurta amoy na putholok pa sida api DESAM site ki yam nungai taba duga maduda putholali ba masana akoy fashion designer mo riba Priyanka na Joseph na social media das ulak pa na barakanda madu Priyanka say madu matang sengdokada bani duga mahaki EPC po may thabana madu DESAM react to ba singi matang da tasing na traditional loiba visual singers see westernized natraga fashion yo possible sinaba yaro ida natraga yagada hadi batani kana zari pese to break matung say Robert Naorem da mungai laksage habi re madi research natraga madi specs madi values me am khangna fashion designer mo ida ragadi madu me am loi ma habi ke khoi ki guess ko dimana but try the even research na yog the project khas tum naikinin khali tasena akoina research haibadi fashion designer dona khangu da Thailand gi boiro Sikkim gi boiro tongan pa khara compulsory aduga yamna khangna bai khangna potati dum khangba khangda madi unique next labor yamna khara secret oiba posting dadi khangda sutum yawe do hek putho ka dadi madu yamna mayam pamna ba madi go do tasena madugi skirt oina mapa nai ba mai ngai ba dona skirt oina Puthola Padu Manipur gi Miam the Yam Tayona Bamo in a Togaso, India man the Yamaso value more than Yam Pasain he. Mahoy is a panik to a skirt or a positive. I don't give a positive Rani Fidana. kurta natraga madu west court or lakho matam yam phasai na to madu ki value da dum sakhi ga doini haijari ba aduga masai da madu me an du thinge hai tar ga di padu madu me an do ngak thok na bagi da makta tongan ba fashion da khang bana ti puna mag nai na ga na fashion design tarong ni hai ba wapam zulai ti loina ma khang kan da fidol ki traditional values aduga madu uniqueness me an khang kan da ai fashion designer oigini hai ba wapam zulai tam da da mayam gi manipur gi khakta natana oi tongan ton ma leizari ba manipur gi to koi zati kunthra ga mapan ni fu hena leiri bani atop kuki natra naga gi dress ma maina lana sir matam madi community tana automatically the react to kani have the masana khang le wapam ni fashion designer masa mak su khang ngani hana khali tawbada ku ada the uniqueness to research to hawdra gati kai lakani adu madu protect to godab si koi community to na protect to godar mantra ka fashion designer to na protect to godar have wapam ne kari having robert
ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯃꯣꯠꯀꯤ ꯃꯇꯨꯡ ꯏꯟꯅꯗꯤ ꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯋꯥꯐꯝꯁꯦ ꯇꯁꯦꯡꯅ ꯍꯣꯏ ꯔꯤꯁꯔꯆ ꯇꯧꯕꯁꯤ ꯁꯤꯗꯤ ꯀꯝꯄꯜꯁꯔꯤ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯗꯔꯀꯥꯔ ꯑꯣꯏ ꯏꯁꯄꯦꯁꯤꯌꯦꯂꯤ ꯌꯨꯅꯤꯛꯅꯦꯁ ꯍꯥꯏꯁꯦ ꯑꯦꯕ꯭ꯔꯤ ꯗꯤꯖꯥꯏꯅꯔꯁꯅ ꯄꯥꯝꯕ ꯄꯣꯠ ꯑꯃꯅꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯗꯒꯤ ꯇꯣꯉꯥꯟ ꯇꯥꯕ ꯑꯃ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯇꯣꯉꯥꯟ ꯇꯥꯕ ꯊꯤꯔꯛꯄꯗꯅꯦ ꯉꯁꯤ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯤꯌꯥꯡꯀꯥꯅ ꯃꯥꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯐꯅꯦꯛ ꯁꯤꯖꯤꯟꯅꯔꯤꯁꯦ ꯑꯇꯣꯞꯄ ꯂꯝꯗ ꯐꯪꯗꯕ ꯍꯥꯏꯇꯥꯔꯦ ꯃꯥ ꯁꯥꯔꯤ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯝꯃꯗꯤ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯇꯧꯔꯝꯗꯕꯁꯨ ꯌꯥꯏꯑꯕ ꯑꯗ ꯐꯅꯦꯛ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯨꯕꯅ ꯐꯅꯦꯛꯇꯨꯗꯤ ꯀꯩꯅꯣꯝꯗꯤ ꯂꯣꯜꯂꯦ ꯃꯈꯥꯁꯤꯗ ꯃꯥꯅ ꯎꯔꯝꯗꯣꯏꯁꯦ ꯃꯄꯥꯟꯁꯤꯗ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯉꯁꯥꯏ ꯈꯣꯏꯁꯤꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯤ खुगी मखा सकदब पोतन मथक थंगले अदमाइन तौरगा मागी रिसर्च तो हाइदी इन डीप रिसर्च योगदब माना पोचे जस्ट फैब्रिक अमोइना उरमगनेबा अदुना ट्रेडिशनल टेक्सटाइल री तसिंग हाइरगदी एथिक्स हाइबसुमा खरा लेबनिना सिगी एथिक्स से खुगी community na su akoina sing hairagadi si poche akoina mi khudimakt education na piru bai sidi possible abu oiroeba whole world corner group ta akoina chatlaga si snen hairaga maximum la tawraga su cover up tawbadinga moi online da pot don khalei huji haidi manipur da laktraga su dum online da dum phangni ba aduna online da phangni ba pot si mu haidi mapan atu pe any state da lei ba any country da leiraga poto haidi fabric one season ra pa yai ba do ngasi thoi ba thodok sa mu thoi haini ngai su leite ba aduna sigi condition ji da haibu responsibility je ta sing hairaga di akhoi isai sa community amadi isai sa gi Yoliba amadi traditional textile yoliba missing the senior responsibility to one the extra responsibility malogo matau tabra na in khalle haibadi akoina pot se me yondore hai matam da koina state manung awareness sama pi bana tragana state manung sida khoigi laiba handloom textile sin je kasham yam banate aduna dum sigi kano sin se laiba khara sida koina tasina knowledgeable when pi daga any pot ama yondu matam da pot to be detailed information ama happy ba since traditional textile oibanina traditional gi oiba pot thamam laiban na sigi pot je sumaina tawbe ai haidi nb note ama happy ba haidare aduna kai gumba adugi note sumaina hapaga chakhi bataraga di akoi gi sisna haidi mi duna su paraga si poche o si ada male haibadi si ethics sama laiba male ethical laws sama laiba male haraga agum ba keno ma chakhiba second na mu akoi gi manipur da changai ba touristing haidi mapan da laiba touristing se lakma tam na compulsory guidelines se tum maitai amana trakana mongi swen yauduni ba aduna siguma poching the awareness pina bagi haidi tanzam su koina loba phabran khalle duga ethical laws sama thamba haidare bai toraga haidi si poche ma yade haibadi ethical law ma koina kai gumba thamagadi sisna su lom na bai tor thamagadi si su hena pagaran ju ai wakhal de khalle dubu responsibility as a whole si di ai wakhal de akoi community na loba aduga poche logi doraba taraga di community oina masa masa responsible lograga di khoigi poche haidi khatang easier way oine ba aduna yoli ba mi su seller su sari ba mi su saraga potu yon gi matam da kanadi on doino yoli ba potu man saina tor oidra ha base akoina masoina awareness ma pira matung da akoina sigi responsibilities loba da kar oiraga di lauraga di successful da na koi sidagi khara ma kai 90% 100% save to ngam raga su 100% to ngam raga su 90% gai di akoina sidagi kan ngam ga na ine thase
okay ethical laws ama madugi da traditional ATTIRES singi ethical laws yoli bisinga so da sin na ga do ka was khanga ga da kara he na protect to goni habiduni fashion industries tourism industries as no demand en kala kadari no gi adana ado ai da kanna bagi madugi kanna ba preserve to na ba to mati uniqueness to mang da na bi damang ta community na kari mukhara di hona ba tai habni do ai roberta muktanga laksage masai da koi patent rights gi tax na simba dum taw da banate fi role sida ta saina aba moirang fi ade sapi la fi ade wangkhai fi na simba taw gre so ai sida geo tax na ta koi gi tax ya sina krai pa to protect to bangam gani madu hack lagadi hoi internet line thiraga su khang mangam gani kali fi role sin se ada da gi tax to sin bagi mathau ta da pra kari having in da robert
GI tech say yam china tare tamo ki yam chin tare si matang suti haidi GI say already koi we are very late haidi even sing hai ga umorok say GI tech koi already tahodra bane aduna haidi atopa mayama product mayama lai sam ha ga sai koi phani ki mapan na loli ba koi se nowhere in the world like deva ado sigi pot se koi already geographical indications take to wasn't hana matam yorabani ado sigi pot se tasing hai di government ki authorities na so kitang si matang slow chatle aduna sina mari laina authority ma textile department sina koi gi tawbayam darkar oi brana khalle aduna sigi tasing na sigi responsibility sidi low ba hojiti yare ado already I want to say processor of mapan dagi mayang na oina haidi non manipuri nan Delhi dagi recently on the GI tech women werang ki tawgraba already tawre aduna GI tech se moina promotion tawbagi matang doina haidi haidi kamain tawra promotion tawni ngon approach tawra ngon recently mail lama lakpagi keno maslay adu ai nangakpati haidi GI patent se Delhi dagi moina protect tawdoine na khoi company na tawrapado haidi ai karam ground no khalaka na se kitang moida yamna ai proceed tawdre du ai moida variation abadi on top de lay du haidi khoi already geographical indication da moina tawrakado pot se how far they know about Manipur community adu gi matang so oiduni one India one nation na adu makha da ngon da already process bu lay adu gi matang da adu bu quite important obli tamo huziki GI tech se city as a person handlum da phung tar tasingna handlum the work to maram oibna koina si pot se khoi pot amni haraga koina international platform da koina chatlaga showcase tor pamatam da si pot se koina protect hodraga di koi GI na haidi tungi future da akoi nga si di tum chak GI do khale kanda akoi pot oi bisin da koi oi hobdo bagi chance am thina wanga nei
okay to gan ba manipur gi maitei sing asina bakatna tan tongan ba business IPM sing dare traditional attires boy so do most indigenously sinari ba tongan community sing bakon sinari possible GI tax sing bu patent right to phanga da protect no masak to dum like any condition sinara so akoi gi have this out of sing living ngai dum like have I repeat to Roslyn the last round no gedo ni masida akoi gi masida influence of what westernization haitare influence saying na tongan ba khoi aina nasi kijari ba tai si khoi tribal singi kano not sama yaur ga tawjabani but masi puthorak pani tongan ba foreign gi na England gi leiru banate Australia leiru mate masi koi tribal sil now sing putol tambi pani use story but tai haibana tra madu hana tribal sing na maitei sing sin na posak amadi nate swai sida adum madi uniqueness adum yarong ganin khali adum aina puthola ga adum acceptable oigani khali adu swai the westernization modernization koi manipuri ki culture manipur not only maitei koki gi boys no naga gi boys no sing culture sing the westernization lak pasna sigum pasna kay am effect to ga ge do crime protect to ga ha ba jam tenta ka tamira mo Roslyn
protection gi matak di I am not too sure but yeah
just give us some suggestions.
Yeah, in terms of the design being, developed and making new stuff, I think going forward, you just took an example of this Thai. We're coming up with a lot of things like wraparounds which cannot be worn to office every day. Now you can have khamtang. There's a Kkay traditional wraparound textile khamtang. So that if somebody wants to wear it, even in the workplace, they can wear it, in a form of overlap plazo or a pen. But the khamtang placements remains the same, but you're still carrying your traditional motifs, in the office also. For example, the same thing which you just said, that, Thai, you can wear it even while you're hosting right now, and you're proudly, wearing one of our traditional textile in the camera. So that thing, I think going forward, we can have this kind of very new product coming out. But protection, when you say the old traditional things which are already existing, we cannot go and ruin it, right? That is the right of those people, like a community who has their traditional textiles with them, that will remain with them. No one is going to take it away. But yes, in terms of legalization, like legal, this thing that on paper, this particular textile belong to this community, if we have that in writing, like this GI tag and whatever has already been suggested, this kind of thing, if one has it, that's a plus point. Otherwise, a community who has their traditional textiles for ages. You cannot go and tell them that this does not belong to you. This is a new development which has happened just now. They cannot say that. Like example, yamna old traditional suppose Gujarati textile bandhani gumba we know. So anywhere in the world, even if it happens, the main root will be there. Everyone knows that, and without they showing papers, everyone in the world knows. So as mine traditional textile में हम जो कोई इसा की community की ओये have to say खाना सुला अगर लोग no one will come and take it away. It's just that we preserve the old textile as inspiration lauraga. You can keep developing. That is a different step. But the old traditional textiles will remain as is.
Okay.
That is, I think, how we protect it. Because, for example, I'll just give a small example. Any traditional functions or culture that we have in the state. For example, Kkay festival. I belong to a Kkay community, so I'm just talking on behalf of what I know. Traditional textiles. On the head, you have to wear headgear. You have to wear specific, way of wraparound, and you have to wear the necklace in a sort of, the way it's been worn from forefathers. Right? Those you cannot change. On those you can only you're only wearing it around the time when those kind of functions happen. So you cannot mix up that with the modern day things. You cannot wear that and go to church every day, or you cannot wear that same traditional attire and go to the market for buying things, or go to your office. That's a very simple logic. So that's why we, as a designer, we come up with things which we can comfortably presentably, wear in front of the community around us in the present day. So, but keeping in mind that the things which we are taking, I'm again repeating myself, which we are using the textiles or anything, we should keep in mind that those things has to be used in a particular way, not hurting the sentiment of anyone.
Okay. Roslyn, you point to Amazay Madu community singer Madu protect on Bigasa and Legami, but Tamuish one the fashion designer, fashion industries the Kondariba, B Magiama, the responsibility have the name Madu, Yingadawunim, Yingadi Madu, Aduma Kai with the Lakan. I know the last round of the Ampian Tambi, Madam Siam Tinas Hogivina, Asai Roslins Tambigre, Madu. Fashion designers in the Sumadagi responsibility to the Kanga Dovani, Madagi uniqueness, the Kankam to have but try the Kanga, but the keep waiting even in Masaxing say, Kangi Kangam talk, but the Punamosi and Roba number dinati, Karisasanta winning, Messenger, DESAM director by Yanaka, Tongan Inzios in the responsibilities, the community do not know has a community in particular. I saw Lamyan Mesa and Robotna. I might take in Roslyn like Kkay had I know to Yabra have a question to the protector Karamba Madugi etiquette laws the Darkale have what the Kari demand of Masada. Okay,
Yamba, Quina, Sai am Tetana Hizaning Base. According ethics Haiba, professionalism Haiba Amadi, modernism Haiba Amadi, human right Amadi, Mokomiazana Komatamda, culture ga balance to the Basnaya Deva, couldn't make the high ethical Panam, Oisan, Amapanam, Oisan, Migi culture ga Madrid modernism ga professionalism ga Matam Lebeki Betamasi, balance of whatever Masin Nesrel Loda, if you could mana, don't come to Haitara. I could Lazaripa Posak Mayama, I could Pazaraba, Mayamuka saying, not a Tamba Hibasi, Masik and Tenateva. I could globalize and Hibasi. Matamatuina Lakani Tawadabu, globalization Matamaseda, I could unique oi by quick culture, Nana globalization, you talk the Kandona Hingata Hibasi, Wakal Kukalamaka Kandamaka Tanga. Maduna designer, community, government, Masi Kudimang the Kangada, Kudimanga. Masi, I could Kudiman Hatagamo, Hazaka from the I could put it Matungin, I could have songs that Hatsang Matugi, I could put it together. Lu Panam lay Haidana, I could Satam say Lu and Peter Kadavanate, I couldn't lay, but Satam say Nang and never get a I couldn't palm among the I could Lu the same Gadavani, Lu the lay and never the I could pressure pick Gadavani, not that I could customary law, I could implement the Wadavani, Madam Matauta, Badika, Hamatamda, I could the Han and the Gilazar, I could culture, Masiki significance, Masiki importance, Masiki Beluse. masi akoi gi miam sing na khangbam khak chang eba madugi cultural value do swang khang da bata raga GI tip panam tau ta raga so panam tau ta raga su madu matam gi batugi loina mang khini ga madam maduna akoi gi cultural gi value sing se masi yamna mayek sing na khangbi ra kan da akoi na isana isa promote tau jana bo na ba promote tau da na bo khona ba gi intention gi saru amu oina tongan na lady ba malem gi oina akoi da pattern gi oina lady ba akoi gi right mayam ba GI take gi oiba aduguma intellectual property right ha ba tare siguba mayam sing sigi madum approach ga daw ne ba madam maduna lu na akoi gi culture sing nga ani ha na ki ta raga di akoi gi phajara ba saktam sing akoi nga pangam noi ha ja ba tare aduga mo ngasagi point da akoi na mu thamjani ba wafam di ngasagi designer oigera amma oigera whatever ha tare ngasagi IPC gi section da su dum yaw ga leibna to 295 ta e da mi amagi sentiment ta hurt to ga da ba mi amagi kalem ka thaina ba dishonest utpa mi amagi group of people amakata smile to pose masi legally su masi sunya ya ba pora makang ha tare maram madra masi kuma mayam su masi amtang ai koi khangan ba aduga khangan na bagi tamata tangai fitra penalty phawa dum lokap pi ba masi gi tamata government ki initiative sing law pa makak changi ha tare maram madra akoi na thanik si katang ngasai gi mitop na sepa ya de habi wa khot na sa de adai di amu ngasai su akoi gi thambi bada dum tai phaw bada dum yamna sepi batai du phau boy dum yali batai du phau boy dum tongan ba ma madu kai na globalization ni matam se ai khoi gi tongan ba uniqueness ai khoi pukhat ba kon dai ne ba smai to na ai khoi gi chingi ichile naw mayam ma kha ai khoi gi tangkhul gi da su hopi mong man ba du na west coast chele isi ne ba masi globalization ni platform da ai khoi gi culture unique oi ba culture to madu semdok sa do ra ka na promote to ba ne hai ba di ya ba madu na tabida akoi na hekta ngasai gi akoi gi da su hai tare akoi gi lain na son da mari lain na ba hai tare ngasai gi ung tha ba poto aina ko khum ma jaw oina sidana ba du ya ro oi ba india gi flag is su ko nei bas mai to da na akoi na react to rai ba akoi da sentiment fat to na hai dai si kai gi ba ko tam da akoi ja panghing da hing ba nong ma gi thu ba panghing da hing ba adu ba kunai na te ba akoi de dress ki chaksa yu thak amadi akoi gi dress code se ningtina lai ba du ma kunai ma kan ne ba dress code ningtina lai ba kunai da di pangtau da tawra pam matam da di madu yaroi hai da na react to pa hai ba simadi ba masana ta ba wa pam ma kan ne mana madu na khwai gi mathau tarak ti ba se akoi gi cultural gi importance madu gi significance madu gi value sing se akoi gi miyam sing da masi khangal hoda ba ta da di akoi nong gi mai thok loi mak tong na kana designer na oi ta ga su designer na akoi culture mang thora kani adai di isai sak ba da mi oi ta ga su akoi gi culture mang thora kani smai to na feel khudin mak ta akoi gi importance se khangak ta ba ta ga di mai thok pa yai na ta pa ta maram aduna akoi gi mentality amak ma thau ta hai ta masi gi da mak ta ngasai gi da mana yamana sa habi ba government kita to godri bra na ta sam to godri ba hai pa to masi nate masi di community participation community engagement yaw da masi sunga ya ro hai ta maram di lady ba akoi gi culture sing sa culture hai basti aina hongduk ninge haidana hekta hongba ya banate miyam changi aina kanninge haidana hekta kanba ya banate mayam gi oiba participation ma changi haiba
okay community engagement se ya mathau tai haibane to fanek is not a mere affair ta se na fanek se isam sama piro late masi weapon oina khulai oina dum sinai na pising na to symbolically ni ngapi ba aduga koi gi dandi pi bi so fanek se yamna maru oina dum sin na da banate yamna awang ma thak ta ikai khumnai haiba tare fanek sina asing haina balai panik sina zum dandi pi basu yai aduga masina koi gi kana mo ngakpi basu yai aduga manipuri nupi la na singba kano da aduga culture ga mari le na pa items da su panik sina ya ba dum seli ta saina zumba chong matam da aduga lanjin chelo matam da haibati olympic te thona na bagdam panik sela ga tawba na ta su nupi la ni lanjin jebe nupi sing imai bel sing panik sela ga dum jensi lei mase panik se icham sam ba physiology na sigum basida even fashion designers sing na aduga fashion industry sa tawri ba maya madigi uniqueness to khanga gari madi particular community to da thamoi soiba sing to hantagani haibdane da masi yam research to batok tari hene improve tawna bagi da yam khanani na bas batok tari aduga designer sing na so madu da section me pai ta se community magi sentiment hat tawda ba soka da pijol sing da di yari makai madi uniqueness so manghan na sem sabda dona mayana apena bajudum lakani adubu madugi pena da license da lana laki baduna ni yam ngai sai ngasigi khoi traditional attires in the westernization na modified to ba yabra have one sita topics da khoi Robert Naorem fashion designer aduga Roslyn Khongsai the fashion designer ni mahak so da loina khoi hariba maitegi culture sing sipu yamna masak thina ba honara pani haina reactory ba DESAM general secretary Leishangthem Lamyanba su Manung hunagi makai tiga tagat sari lo dengan ngasi ko ni Manung hunagi taro masih matang seten sare mayam pun mau boina.
Bye bye.